Sam.
Hi, it's Sam here, and today I'm here with the lovely Sarah, and Sarah is our fantastic copywriter. She's actually one of our secret weapons here at Ashdown Jones, because what she does is she creates all the beautiful descriptions for our equally beautiful brochures. So Sarah, you do this in a very special way though, don't you? How do you actually start writing the copy for our brochures?
Okay, well, before I start writing the copy for the brochures, I call up and sometimes go to meet the clients. And so if it's a phone call, that will just involve arranging a time that's convenient and going through a list of questions, but they're a bit more personal than just how big's your house, how many bedrooms you've got, that kind of thing.
Where's the radiator?
Where's the radiator? Yes, yeah. Is it dual aspect?
What do you actually ask them? Give me a question.
Probably the first question I'd ask is, what's the first thing that you noticed about your house? What did you fall in love with about your house?
That's a lovely question. Give me an example of an answer. Can you think of one?
Often the view, especially
the
houses around here, is the view. The hardest question is, can you sum up for me in a sentence or a few words what your home means to you? And that's a tricky one because I think that it's so personal.
And some people get quite emotional, I'm sure.
People can get really
good
emotional.
And bad.
Yeah, good and bad. And some people get completely stumped by that question because they can't put it into words. Yeah. And other people, it just flows really naturally.
You see, I suppose that they're trying to mentally move out of their home, but what we're asking them to do is almost fall back in love with their home in order to be able to sell it to somebody else.
And they often say that as well. Afterwards, they do say, after we've finished talking, they say, oh my God, I don't want to leave you. So it's a conversation worth having. Definitely.
It is actually, because I think they need to go through that process in the head, don't they too? You also ask about sort of what they can do locally to the house, don't you?
Yeah.
So what kind of things do you ask?
We talk about a day in the life. So what would you do? You know, what's your perfect weekend?
A day in the life.
Yeah, so a day in the life of your home.
Lovely.
You know, if you've got an hour to yourself and you're not rushed, where would you like to spend time? And it's really interesting because people start talking about a room that's got a real. That perhaps it's a winter room and they love curling up and they talk about the right down to the type of drink they'll sit down in a chair.
So they're very specific.
Yeah, and I mean people can be quite poetic when they start talking. I've heard people talk about like the fairy light kind of glimmer in the window at Christmas and the view out to the lake and so
do you get them to talk about different times of year as well, like what's it like at Christmas?
Yeah, definitely. And I do keep asking, and people want, and Christmas is a big time for people like talking about Christmas because I think, well, you know, it's a love or hate thing actually because I spoke to someone this week who hated Christmas and
really?
It was like, well, I bet Christmas is amazing. It's like, no. But yeah, a lot of people, Christmas is a really big time and they talk about where they'll put the tree and some of the properties have got big ceilings and so you can really get a great mood. But at the minute, I suppose coming into spring, it's all about flowers in the garden and
how you use your garden.
Yeah. And so the people today that I spoke to this week, who they were describing the inversion of weather and how they could see from the bedroom window
above the cloud,
and they said, you know, it feels like you're actually in the heavens. And
oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yeah. Now you have been to see a home, haven't you? We're not going to say which one it was, but you went to see one this week with Hannah, our client executive, and what were your impressions of that house?
I want to live there. It was absolutely incredible. Right from the approach, it was just so. It wasn't remote. It was so close to all your links, but you just felt like you were going into a different world. And the people, the owners, had put so much love and care. And I never understand why these people are selling because everything has been chosen so specifically. But it was.
But you can't wait to write about that one then.
It was like stepping. Can I say it was like stepping into ancient Italy?
See, this is why she's our copywriter.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you what she says on here. Oh, I haven't got glasses on. So this is a lovely brochure for Lane Cottage, which is gorgeous. The owners are architects. You can tell through every single photograph, and also the way we've crafted the brochure really is a nod to that. So it says, in fact, I'll let you read that first paragraph there.
Oh, okay. Pull on your walking boots and explore your glorious surroundings. A 20-minute walk up the fell to Ayside Reservoir offers you breathtaking views down the coast as far as Blackpool Tower and up to all the mountains in the Lake District.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? What does that say? Pop the port. Oh, pop the pooch, sorry.
Pop the pooch on the lead.
On the lead and explore. Lovely. Pop the pooch.
You like alliteration.
I do like a bit of alliteration, it's true. I did do literature at university. This is our latest one, Michael Yeat Farmhouse, which is just the most beautiful brochure, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely twilight image. Can you remember what stood out about this particular house for you?
Oh, so much. The lady who I spoke to on the phone, she was really good fun.
Was she?
Yeah, she was lovely.
She is good fun.
And what really stood out was I think the friendly feel of this home and the fact that it's such a the family, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a family home, isn't it?
Talked about, you know, the kind of way you could run around almost the bottom of the ground floor.
Yeah, you can, that's right, yeah.
And it's funny because I don't often visit the houses, but I get such a feel for what they're like, and just by talking to the owners and the passion they have, and also the very top floor of that one, as I recall. It's just like its own private hotel suite.
It is, yeah. It is like a suite completely.
With all the beams and how old and
it's got a little sitter and everything, yeah.
Oh, and in the living room as well, there are little, there are hooks in the beams that kind of date back to when it would have been the kitchen, the living room, and when you would have kind of baked bread in your lounge.
Oh, wow.
So it's the history of the home as well.
Do you ever find out sort of the history of the name of the home or the history of the home itself?
So Michael Yeat Farmhouse, if I can remember right. Yeat, I think, is gate.
Yes.
And Michael, which I found, I tried to research this and I couldn't find it, but apparently Michael means the first, so that would have been the first gate in the village.
Ah, I see.
Because apparently,
it could have actually been though something called Michael, and it could be Michael's Gate.
It could be. That wasn't what I was told. Those sounds. I have to go and watch.
We'll just make it the history. But that's really interesting. So something else that we do to try and help you if you're not able to go and visit the house, and it is a telephone interview, and you do get lots on a telephone interview. I know is
sometimes
that not always. That Hannah and Tess, when they go out to a property, they will take a video of the home. Yeah. They'll send you photographs. They'll talk you through it. They'll send you a floor plan's really good for you, isn't it?
Floor plans, photos, a little bit of a brief about what's in the area, if it's an area that I'm not overly familiar with. But yeah, the videos are great. The videos are absolutely great. And the fun as well.
They are fun.
So
you do. Yeah. So what do you think that having a professional copywriter like you does for selling a home?
Well, I think anybody who has ever sold a home, who's been on Rightmove and estate agents' websites, knows that I think the devil is in the detail, and I think that a lot of people just write such dry, boring, that estate agent bingo that you play, and I think having somebody who loves language, who loves words, and who loves the properties as well, it's just such a nice little marriage and it brings it to life, because it's a home, not a house. And
it completely is.
You know, everything's got windows and doors.
And radiators.
And radiators.
I'm obsessed with radiators. No. The owners as well absolutely love it, because it helps them see how their home is being portrayed in print. Yeah. And then if you've got somebody who's visiting, so we're in the Lake District, so some people visit for a weekend and view as many as they can. They must all blur into one after a while, but if they get home and they've got this brochure on their coffee table, and they're sitting there with a glass of Shiraz, and they're just trying to remind themselves of what Michael Yeat Farmhouse, fruity glass of Shiraz, and they're looking through it. That's the time they're going to read the copy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To really kind of embed in their mind what that home has. Yeah. And this really brings out all the very best features of the home. Yeah. So you're not going to remember where the radiators were and the plug sockets were and it was dual aspect. What you will remember is how the home felt to look around it.
Absolutely, and the view from the kitchen window.
And it was a nice view from the kitchen window. It was a lovely, lovely house. So I just wanted to introduce Sarah to you. She's our secret weapon. Not very secret now. I've shown the whole Facebook.
Thank you for sharing it.
She's not for hire. She's only for Ashdown Jones. But she is for you if you are thinking of selling your home. And if you would like to have a chat to Sarah about your home and how you think it could appear in print, then she'd love to chat with you.
I'd love to talk. I talk a lot.
She does talk a lot, yes. Thank you very much for watching this, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye for now.